Hi, this is Melanie for the Pardesi channel. I'm here to do a film review of Alia Bhatt's newest film, Ռaːziː. Ռaːziː means agree, and that has several meanings in the film. Well, this is based on a true story, which is what I learned after I saw the film. I knew it was based on a book, but I did not really realize that it is based on a real woman. So she agrees both that it's resident of her saying kabuhe, you know, when she's in the marriage ceremony, she's agreeing to marry. And it's also that she agrees to what her father poses to her. Will you become a spy? And will you marry someone just to get information on, because he's a Pakistani army officer. And his father is like a colonel or something. Just because Alia Bhatt has that young, vulnerable look about her, she just, you know, you just looking at her, she looks so vulnerable. And so you're just obvious, you know, you're sympathetic to her from the get-go. Rajit Kapur plays Alia Bhatt's father, and I most recently saw him in a weird kind of cameo role in Bar Deco, but he's been a character actor in other films. So this is a really good performance as the father. And what I didn't realize when I was watching the film is that Alia Bhatt's own mother, her real life mother, Soni Razdan is her name, and I don't think I've ever seen her on film before, so that was kind of a fun little thing that she was in there playing, because I was like, wow, she really looks like Alia. Yeah, for good reason. So Alia has to go from this naive 20-year-old college kid to a savvy spy. And she really totally makes us believe this journey, because when she agrees, you know, the Ռaːziː of the title, to take on this mission, there's a whole training sequence. And the person that is training her, Jaideep Alawat is the actor's name. I know I've seen him some other, he was in Gangs of Wasseypur and other films. So anyway, he's sort of in a way has a sinister kind of look to him. But here, he does that for good effect, because when she's training, she's very intimidated by him. And one thing that I loved is he's really trying, he's so worried about her going into this situation, and he wants to prepare her in as an extreme way. He's constantly trying to catch her by surprise, because he's like, it's going to be your corpse on the floor, you know, is kind of what he's saying to her. So even when she's just sitting in the cafeteria and talking to somebody, he'll throw a piece of a wad of paper at her face or whatever. He's just constantly trying to keep her on her toes, because it's, you know, it's like concern out of love that he was a friend of her father's, and he's just, you know, wanting her to really go from this naive girl to someone that can really do this. And her skill is she's always had like almost a photographic memory, that she can remember numbers and things like that, which obviously comes in handy if you're a spy. So I liked all of the procedural things of how she was learning, how she was going to set up the system, how she was going to, you know, only transmit messages in Morse code and all of this. And what I was hoping and praying, because I saw Vicky Kaushal, who I've liked in several other roles, including the recent Love Per Square Foot, I was hoping he wasn't going to be evil. And I kind of had a feeling when we saw in the trailer, and we saw Alia Bhatt crying, that I thought, you know, this is a woman director, Meghna Gulzar. She's going to deal with the emotions of what it is to be this conflicted, you're in a marriage with somebody and having to make it seem real, and yet you're betraying them every day. So, you know, really dealing with that. We've seen that in films like D-Day a little bit, where Irfan Khan had to be a sleeper, you know, sleeper agent in Pakistan, and to not look weird, he had a wife, he had children, whatever, you know. But here we're seeing it from the woman's, we're seeing it from the woman's perspective, right? I mean, she is having to act as the perfect Bahu and be the daughter-in-law in the house and not be too ingratiating. You know, she has to walk this fine line of becoming part of the household, just becoming someone that they're used to seeing bring tea to her father-in-law and all of this kind of stuff, to put everyone at ease. But you just see this through the course of the film, how she goes from this naive young girl to, I'm not going to say she's a hardened spy, but I'm going to say how she becomes so competent and so self-confident. She goes above and beyond what was expected of her to do. She takes her own initiative, and she really takes it a step beyond, because she sees things that it's worth taking a chance to report on and take an extra step. You know, it's to me, I just kept thinking about when I walked out about how this is a woman director, because this is not Mission Impossible. So if you're expecting, you know, lots of car chases or lots of huge action set pieces, that's not the kind of film that this is. This is a drama, and we're dealing with, yeah, there's some cool spy stuff, but not you know, big gunfights and whatever. I mean, it's what you get is just this emotional wallop at the end of the film, and what this woman had to give up, what the consequences of her doing all of this spying and betraying the family that she was living with, what that means. And you know, so I'm not going to spoil it at all. I'm just going to say it's a drama. So think of it in that way. It is a drama, not like a big action movie. And I thought it was very well done. I would give it 4 stars out of 5. I thought it was very well directed by Meghna Gulzar. Her father, Gulzar, writes the lyrics to the soundtrack, which is really, really good. And the A Watan song has a meaning in the plot. I'm not going to say what, but there is a purpose for why that song is in the plot. So that was kind of interesting. But basically it comes down to Alia Bhatt has to rest this entire film on her shoulders. And she is just getting better and better and better. She was great. And Vicky Kaushal, like, who wouldn't fall in love with this guy? The way they did his hair and how he was just had this period look, so good. Of course, I was just pleased. He's not evil at all. And that's what makes it so hard for her. I mean, who wouldn't fall in love with him? And he's not this harsh husband. He's someone that is gentle with her, who realizes she's marrying a stranger, and so he doesn't force himself on her, and he loves jazz records and all of this, you know. So I loved the small, quiet moments of their relationship. It was really well done, very well done. And when the final, you know, denouement, the final drama, how he reacts when he finds out you know, how he reacts at the end, and emotional scenes, very, very good. Very, very good. I would highly recommend this film. I think it's a really good drama, and Alia Bhatt is just getting better and better, and I'm so pleased that she's getting these kind of meaty roles. And, you know, it's not just another romance, it's, you know, something really meaningful. And I was just blown away to learn at the end that this was a true story, and what a brave woman this real person was to go through all of that, you know, in service of her country. So it was just, I'm pleased that they made a movie to tell this story. If you like this film review, please press that like button, share the video, follow us on Twitter at PardesiYT, subscribe to the Pardesi channel, and if you hit the bell, then you'll get a notification whenever I have a new video or live stream or a new film review. Just a reminder, I'm going to be out of the country for the next week, so I'm not going to be able to see next week's new films right away. I will be taking some films on my iPad with me, so no more videos for the next week or so, but I will be back soon.